Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is William H. Thompson, CPA, MBA, and I'm the founder of RE Accounting and Tax Professionals. We help real estate investors maximize return on investment through expert tax strategies, while at the same time helping them to build and sustain a legacy. Welcome to Free Information Friday, and today I'm going to discuss a topic that is not really sexy, but is very important and pertinent to real estate investors. And what is it? Bookkeeping, or what I like to call financial readiness. I want to go over a couple bullet points why bookkeeping is very valuable to real estate investors. So let's begin with number one. By keeping proper books, real estate investors are going to be able to identify the true value and performance of each of their rental properties. For example, if you maintain a QuickBooks bookkeeping system, you're going to be able to allocate or coordinate or put together all of your expenses, revenues, and your assets by location. And what that does for you, it tells you what's happened with property A all the way through property Z, depending on how many you have. So understanding your performance on each property is critical. Number two, bookkeeping is very valuable to identify tax savings. And what do I mean by that? If your bookkeeping is not straight at the end of the year, that puts a lot of pressure on your CPA to do any type of tax planning for you throughout the year. Tax planning needs to be done at least on a quarterly basis so that the CPA can help you strategize and can help you implement those strategies. Because believe it or not, a good CPA will be able to give you strategies to save on taxes, but the critical piece, I believe, as a CPA, as your partner, is to help you implement and get these things rolling so you're actually saving money on taxes. The other two areas that I believe proper bookkeeping is going to help you with is number one, audits. If you ever called into question and you were audited and your books were not in order, that puts a little bit of a red flag in the minds of the IRS. So instead of maybe doing a cursory review or audit of your financials and your tax returns, they may dig a little bit deeper. So by all means, keeping your books in order for an audit is extremely important. It makes you look good, and it'll help facilitate a quicker audit. Now, the second thing with bookkeeping in that area is finance. And what do I mean by that? Finance? Let's say that you're about ready to pounce on a property that is a tremendous deal, but you need to go to a source for financing, whether that's a financial institution, savings and loan, whatever. They're going to want to see your financials. And if you don't have them ready, that deal is going to evaporate on you. So you need to make sure that prior to financing, all your bookkeeping and your financials are in order so that that lender can make an informed decision and help you get across the finish line with the purchase of the property. Another bullet point for solid bookkeeping is making smart decisions. So if you have your books in order, and as I mentioned in the beginning, by property, you're going to be able to identify what properties are performing well and what properties are not performing well. And what does that do for you? A not performing property, or one that is performing under its potential, has got to either be taken out of your portfolio or changes have to be made in order to get that property up to speed. Because there's no sense of holding on to a property that's not performing. And you're not going to be able to understand that unless you have your financials in order. And the last thing that I talk about when I highlight why bookkeeping is valuable to bookkeepers is scaling your portfolio. Now, every investor that I've worked with their biggest and most important goal was to scale their portfolio. They wanted to go from one property to as many as they can have and manage properly. But if your books are in chaos, you're not going to be able to scale your portfolio because you're always going to be putting out fires. And what I mean by that is, as I mentioned before, bookkeeping will identify by property where your issues are. So instead of scrambling, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to take care of this, you can say, okay, this property needs this property needs that. And you're actually able to actually get your properties in order so that you know what's happening and you can absolutely run your portfolio and scale it to where you want it to be. So bookkeeping may not be a sexy topic, but I can tell you from a CPA standpoint, it is extremely important in every facet of your real estate journey. Now, I hope this segment of Free Information Monday was helpful to you. And remember, if you're a real estate investor that wants to maximize return on investment through expert tax strategies, while at the same time helping to build and sustain your legacy, book a call with our firm. And remember, only you can create your empire, but we are here to help every step of the way. Thank you, and I wish you much success on your real estate journey.